market, right? Like the real estate market. When everything is going well, you want to hear about the good news, right?
Right.
But when everything when we start talking about like recession and this crunch time start to come in and things start to get super tight, people gonna want to be inspired by real stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we in the right lane.
So y'all get caution to
always
be able to do that.
There's some people that's reached out that want to come on and like, they ain't really like, you know what I'm saying? This is not a rap podcast, first of all.
Right. I seen you make that. I seen you make a post on that or talk to somebody.
We had
about
a
that,
bunch of them reach out when we had the one rapper on. It was like I was flooded with rappers, and I was like, that ain't really. Especially we had one that we were supposed to do, and I swear to God, we tried to meet with this dude like 6-7 times, and every time was getting blocked. And I hit up Corey like, man, it just don't feel like he's supposed to be on there. Right. He was like, maybe he don't fit the image we have. Right. So then I went and looked at his music, and it wasn't, you know, what we pushing. Right. It's cool, you know, I support what he's doing, trying to, you know, feed his family. But I'm talking about one time it was like a crazy ass thunderstorm. Remember that? It was like dark as fuck.
Stuff kept coming.
Then one time the studio was closed, and Corey had something, and it was all legit shit. But it was just like God was like, no. Right. I said no, like y'all didn't keep trying.
And that's exactly what that was, bro. That's what that was, bro. So,
yeah, we're gonna stick to what we do. We're gonna stick to, you know, teaching the kids, the youth, bringing families together.
Right.
Real estate, building your portfolio up, anything to better the Black household. That's what we're gonna be about.
That's real. I love it, man.
This is how we live on.
That's facts.
This is how we live on. Like even when we gone, like somebody.
Yeah, this media gonna be out there.
Like, hey, I want y'all to listen to these guys on this podcast, what they were saying, so y'all can learn from this. So, you know, like I want to leave that type of stain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I felt definitely confident about coming and sharing this moment with y'all as well, because especially when you start talking about like the Black family or the family dynamic and things of that nature, like that's the most important piece that our people have been missing for generations. You know what I'm saying? They talk about generational curses. That is the curse.
Yeah.
The curse is a father not being in the house with his son.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? That's the curse right there. Yeah. And that's what they perpetuate, you know, to keep us on the bottom, is really get the Black man out of the household. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
If the modern day Eve can forget about Adam, game over.
That's what I was trying to explain to that therapist on that episode when I was saying that the Black women are married to the government, and she got offended by it.
That's real.
I'm like, if they're providing your housing, electricity, water, and your food and health care, that's your man, that's your God. It's connected to everything.
And they tell you, better not have no other man up in this house.
Right, or we'll cut off all these resources. When they cut that water off, and you relying on him for 100% of everything, and that just keeps on recycling, because nobody's, you know, paying attention or watching these type of podcasts and be like,
Right.
That might be true. And look around you, because everybody's experiencing the same thing in them environments.
Right. They learned their lesson in the 60s, you know what I'm saying? Because in the 60s, it was young men that was building houses, that was building foundations, that was causing revolution or revolutionary type thinking. And then that's when they implemented that, you know, COINTELPRO and things of that nature, like infiltrating any type of Black organization, labeling them.
You know, in the business.
That's right.
They trying to, you know, since we powerful up here, we a threat.
That's right.
The threat wasn't with the guns or with these. The threat was with this.
With the mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's right.
That's the most powerful thing to take away.
And that's why they attack the mind with entertainment, with school, with you know, arts, you know, all these different type of things that they put directly into our children.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But don't teach us anything about finance or building any type of wealth or taxes or anything like that. But they teach their community, you know, those things. That's out the loop.
I noticed that when I got them clients in my chair, when I got the white kids that's 15, 16, and I'm looking at because they got their phone right there. Some of them looking at stocks.
Yeah.
They're not on TikTok.
Right.
But the Black kids sit in my chair on TikTok, Instagram. These kids, I'm talking about like 19, 21. He like, oh yeah, this is my portfolio. My dad got me into real estate or Forex or whatever. Fucking 21-year-old kid got $150,000 in his account.
Right.
Got another 30 in the checking.
Right.
At 21.
At 21.
Legally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gave
And then the black kids come in like, oh, you know them, what's up, OG? You know the new J's come out this Saturday. I'm like, bro, fuck them J's.
It's on purpose. You see,
it was never told. It was sold.
You know, I told a kid today. He seen my J's. It's kind of hard telling them not to do it when they see us with it. But I already went through what you went through. I'm on the other side of it. But anyway, he was looking at my J's and he wanted to get some. I asked him, how many hours of your life you got to give away to get those? He's like, what you talking about?
Right.
And I'm like, when you go to work, how much you make? $10 an hour. So if your J's is $200, how many hours of your life are you giving up for them shoes that you gonna scuff in about 2 weeks?
That's real.
And then once you crease them, now you trying to, dump them off, resell them. He was like, I never thought of it that way. He was really fucked up. Like, damn, I gotta be at work in like 2-3 days just to get to my. Yeah, bro, 2-3 days you sacrificing for some leather.
And you remember when we was coming up, like you could get shot. I don't know how it is today.
Yeah,
but you could get like beat up. You could get jacked.
Yeah, as soon as you come out of the finish line.
I remember
behind some J's.
And they ain't asking either.
I know a dude that served. He got 99 years, man. Shout out to Brian Keys, man. He got 99 years for robbing a nigga. You know what I'm saying? They say supposedly, he robbed a nigga for his J's or whatever, dude for his J's or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't there, but that's what he's supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
Right.
99 years, bro. Over some shoes.
Man, it's programmed.
Yeah.
And it's programmed like that. And the way they program it through is like music, movies, right? Things of that nature. Putting us in survival mode.
Right.
Yep.
Our community was in survival mode. Like, wasn't even thinking about investing or passive income. Like I tell people all the time, I didn't even understand what the difference between an asset and a liability was until I was 30 plus years old.
Me too.
I'm 30 plus years old.
Now I'm still learning that game.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I feel so behind. I feel like I'm rushing to like.
Game is like, man. I'm still learning. Like I know I got the hustle. It's just, man, you gotta know what you're doing with that, man.
True. I think you got a class coming up.
Yeah. We gotta get you
the information for the class, Corey. You can roll up there with me. Odell, you can come too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, who gonna do the introduction, man?
I already had it rolling. He been rolling about 20 minutes. I was gonna say we just gotta do an intro later. He was spitting that shit already, so I'm like, Odell, get it.
Hey, I
this
like
cool right here,
so I'm loving it.
Yeah, whatever comfortable for you.
Hey, man,
Nick stands out if you need to go out.
Happy birthday, young man.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Brandon, you know what I'm saying? Birthday.
37 trips around the sun.
Oh snap, man! You're a young man.
How old are you?
38. Wait. I always tell people like this, right? Look, I'm younger today than I was yesterday.
I love that.
Because you said I was 30 how years old?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Today I'm new.
Yeah, new skin, new cells.
You know what I mean? That's right. So tomorrow I'm gonna be even younger. I'm gonna be even newer, so to speak. Right. So that was the old me.
I like. I like that because something like you just said right now. I'm saying I follow this dude named 19 Keys. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to 19 Keys, man.
Sure.
Right.
But he said something like, man, people always, because the American language, they words are curses.
Oh yeah,
it's curses. So whatever you say out your mouth, it's gonna be that.
Right.
So, I'm this many years old.
Right.
You just threw old on the back of it. Now you're gonna start feeling old, looking old.
That's it.
It's like you giving yourself time that you buying time.
Right.
Like my time running out. When you say that instead of saying I'm this age new.
That's right.
I liked when he said that because it's true. Because you ain't never been 37.
Right.
So it's gonna be a new.
That's a new day.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. That's right. It's something new. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a dope 37.
You know what I'm saying? It is. It's my most knowledgeable year. Like he said, I didn't learn a lot till I was probably 31, 32. I just started. Learning the shit that the white kids was learning probably at like 8, 9.
Yeah.
So now I'm like just absorbing like everything, any knowledge you got. I'm taking it all in. I need real estate, land, the Turo. I need to learn about it. I want to learn all of it because I want to set my family up and be the one to change it.
That's real.
Because nobody did it before me. So I feel like
young man. Shots up. Is that me? Shots up.
Yeah, that's for you.
Bro. Shots up.
That's what's up.
So this is to, breaking that generational curse.
Bam.
I'll start this new year.
Shots up to everybody here.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, I feel like our generation got to do it because we got the easiest access to knowledge and information.
Ever in history.
I was holding my parents accountable for not teaching me, some of these things. You kind of get resentful. Like, damn, why my parents give me the game on this, and that? You got to realize they did what they could with what they had at the time.
Exactly.
There was no internet just one generation ago. You know what I mean?
And that's why we got to know everything that we get as far as informational wise, as far as resource wise, as far as relationship wise, it's not for us.
Right.
It's for them.
Right.
Because I'm starting off at 32, 33 years old. What can I do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what I could do is I could pass on that information and that lifestyle and that understanding to my son who's 12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Now my son can have a business at 16. He can have this mindset at 12 years old. He can have this understanding, this language that can really put him in a trajectory to far surpass anybody ever in my whole history of my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever we get, we gotta know it's for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We planting seeds right
There
now,
you go.
but the seeds we plant now might not grow until when they
for
right.
30, 40 years.
We putting in the work. As long as we keep putting in the work, it's gonna work out for them. Cause our kids' success is our own.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Right.
We just gotta make sure we're intentional about it. I was talking to one of my homegirls, and she makes a lot of money. She make $250,000 a month. I mean a year. I'm sorry. Yeah. She make $250,000 a year.
I need some.
But she doesn't keep or grow $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you burning through all this money? And it's just you. You know what I mean? She got kids, but
right.
And I'm like, you don't want to set them up for nothing. If the money you're making is all with her hands,
right.
So if you go down, that money is not going to be $250 next year.
Right.
If you out for 6 months,
that's right.
So it's got to be moving on its own somewhere, and you got to be teaching them how to do it. And she was like, "Fuck that! They can learn the way I learn."
Man,
I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's a curse.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy. She's like, yeah, I had to get it out the mud. I want them to have that grind. I don't want to just give it to them. I didn't say give it to them, but teach them.
Right.
If they don't want the game, you try to give it to them, that's on them, but at least you provided it to them.
I heard this dude, y'all probably heard of him, 500.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't really be listening to him like that, but I just caught a short what he was saying, but what he was saying was true.
Yeah.
He was like, we teach our children how to work for money instead of think for money. Right. We give them chores, and then we give them an allowance. Right. We basically treat them like an employee.
Right.
Instead of giving them activities and things to use their brain and utilize their brain power and their creativity, and then reward them financially for that, so that they can elevate into understanding it's more than just my physical labor or energy that can earn me money, but it's also my creativity, my brain power, my willpower, things of that nature. Right. So that was very powerful. It started to change the way I was even dealing with my son, because all I had him doing was taking their trash out, and then I'm like, man, if you do that crossword puzzle, I give you $20.
Yeah.
But my thing is this,
get his mind going.
Even coming from that perspective, I understand that from your perspective, and I agree with that. But also, you can look at it like this too. We got to stop, especially blacks, the melanated men and women. We got to stop rewarding our kids for things they supposed to be doing.
There
anyway.
you go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be working hard. You're supposed to be cleaning the house. You're supposed to be doing your chores. I shouldn't have to pay you to do something you should be doing anyway.
Right.
And then that's going to make them appreciate it more.
Facts. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I agree.
And they're going to have to do it anyway when you get your place.
That's how to do it. This is the reward is learning how to cook. When I tell you, hey, go here, let me teach you how to cook.
Yeah, pay attention. Get off your phone.
4 years old, I stand right there with them. I let them stir the pot a little bit. They might not really know what they're doing. They just, hey, throw that in there, and they might throw a whole bunch in there.
Yeah.
But I'm just teaching you the fundamentals while you're young. When they get to teenage, and now they know how to cook for themselves, and now they know how to do what they're supposed to do. But you teaching them fundamentals of life, bro.
That's real.
This is what you're gonna have to have when you get married. You're gonna have to be able to cook for your man, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real.
Especially for the men.
Yeah.
Learn how to cook so you ain't got to rely on a woman when you're in that season without a woman.
Yeah.
Some of my dogs be going through it. Man, I need a woman. Man. I ain't had a home cooked meal in 6 months.
Hey, that culinary school helped me.
Got you right.
It got me right. Like, I mean, I already knew how to cook, but the culinary school helped me put that pizzazz on top.
Yeah, to me, it gives you that fine tuning.
Yeah.
You know what helped me put that pizzazz on it?
What?
Going to prison.
Yeah, hey, for real, that too. Yeah.
Come on now.
Hell yeah.
You gotta do a lot of something with very little.
That'd be the most creative people, creative minds, bro. I'm telling you, and the best chess players.
In the grave or in prison.
Yeah, for sure.
In the grave or in prison, that's what a talent is. And you know, it's like, it's crazy because it's like we got our people, the melanated people, got castrated with this. We got castrated with this caste system.
Mm-hmm.
They was cutting our heads off with.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they grew their head back. They realized, okay, now it's time to get my mind right.
Right.
Some of us still walk around headless.
Right.
Until we get up here and not get right, we gonna stay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They did a calculated move, bro, and to this day, a lot of our people still falling for it, bro. Just because the system was set up this way doesn't mean it's not a way for us to create a bubble of happiness for ourselves.
Right.
Like, the thing is, I think when we thinking like our people think like, man, them folks ain't gonna never let us make it anyway. We ain't gonna, cause you thinking too far.
Right.
You thinking too far.
Right.
You want it all. Don't think too far. Just say, okay, let me get my little piece of the pie.
Right.
This little piece right here enough to make my family happy and us comfortable.
Right.
If you think in that perspective, then you will see that you can do it.
You got to start there.
You got to.
For sure. You got to start there. And then the idea is to get with people in your community that have the same mindset as you.
Right.
So that then you can now create a community of like-minded people.
Right.
With strong marriages, you know, strong foundation as far as they ethical or whatever the case may be, right? Now you creating something that the government really don't want you to have at all. Something that's really a threat to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's really the threat to them. It's us coming together, getting our piece and bringing our piece to the middle and saying, okay, we're going to build this thing up. And set ourselves aside. That was Black Wall Street. Right. We saw, or all the different Black Wall Streets, and we saw what happened to them.
Yeah. Black Wall Street got to start within us first.
That's right.
And then we got to bring it out. And like I was talking to one of my partners today, I was talking to Banks.
Yeah.
He was on the last podcast, man. That boy got a poof.
Right. Yeah, big brain.
We got to pick his brain. But yeah, so we was talking earlier, and we was talking about power. We was saying, like, you know, that the Caucasian race, that they power is money. And for the melanated race, our power is love, bro.
Right. No, I agree with that.
And the reason I say that is because when we was in tune with each other, when it came to love, we weren't killing each other the way we is.
No, that's real. That's real.
We wasn't. We was loving each other. We was governing our communities. Miss Mildred down the street, she'll whoop your butt and call your mama. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or Miss Mildred down the street. Miss Mildred, go on, I'm gonna send some of this food down here to go on, take it to the house. I made some extra biscuits and rolls and take that milk down there to your mama. Then when she go to the store, she can just give me back later. Because I know y'all said y'all ain't had no eggs or milk. Like we used to do. That's governing. When that stopped, that's true. When that stopped, it went downhill. Right. They didn't have nothing to look forward to, so the love left too. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah. You don't even know your neighbors no more, really. Besides that, like, hey, what's going on?
Real talk.
You good?
Well, you know how I am. I believe and I know that the Bible is Black history. That's why I got my fringes. You know what I'm saying? I got I got my Hebrew. I got my
for sure.
I was gonna wear my shabbat today. I was gonna wear my little crown.
So the second commandment of the Messiah said the second commandment was, man, love your neighbor as yourself. Right. He said, man, you fulfill everything in love. So what you just said is very powerful. And they attack that in our community. That's why they give us the entertainment or the drill music, the trap music. You know what I'm saying? The hate,
all the hate out.
The misogyny, the misogyny or whatever. You know what I mean? Like misandry, I should say. Misogyny and misandry. The love for the hate for men and the hate for women. You know what I mean? They feed that to us, and then They feed it to us at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And then they perpetuate over a period of time.
Make the women think like, you know, one of their main key things they do to make the modern day Eve forget about an Adam is they pump their head up to make them feel great about being independent.
There you go.
And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with it.
Right.
But the problem with that is they take their independence to a level to where the masculinity of it all takes over.
There you go.
So when Adam do show up, they don't know how to receive him without continuing to hold on to their masculinity.
Right.
You're talking now.
That's the main reason why the man, he don't want to come back into the home no more.
Right.
Or they pushing him out the home. So it's a distraction. Oh, we independent. We don't need no nigga. You know, that type of stuff. But at the same time,
some deep shit.
If God did create Adam for Eve and Eve for Adam, then why would he do that if that wasn't what it was supposed to be?
Right.
Yeah, we're supposed to complement each other.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Really,
it's supposed to work like this.
It's a team effort, bro.
Team effort.
You saying it's not a bad thing? Shit, it actually is. Like, you wasn't built to be independent. You were supposed to be codependent.
Right. There you go.
So, like, that's what I was telling a girl in that episode. Like, coming in with that mindset, you already counterproductive to what we got going on as far as a relationship.
Right.
If you saying you independent, you know, but it's fucked up because, you know, a lot of times the man went to prison. So she did have to step up in that masculine role and play both sides. And then when he come back, it's like, nigga, I've been holding this down. Like, you know what I'm saying? The government got me. Like, that's her nigga right now.
No, that's real. That's real.
So now it's friction with her. It's friction between him and the kids because she gonna put her energy into the kids most likely. So they feeling some type of way. It's just an ugly cycle all the way around.
It's all by design, too.
Yeah.
It's all by design because if you take the black man out of being the foundation of the home, then if the foundation is cracked, the house cannot stand.
Right.
Kill the head, the body dead.
You kill the head, the body dead.
That's right. That's it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So, man, you ever heard of epigenetics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That more crazy.
Yeah.
Break that down for everybody that's watching.
Okay, bet. So epigenetics is basically like how you can pass trauma down genetically. Right. So what you was just talking, like that whole scenario when the woman is in the house by herself, right? And the government is the husband, right? That is a scenario that played out in generations above us.
Right.
Because I got to take the black man out of the house. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to demasculate him. Right. And then the woman is going to look at the man like, master's taking care of me.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't need you. I got master.
I don't need you. I got master, right? So that mindset, that's a traumatic experience.
That is.
You know what I'm saying?
That is, yeah.
So that passes down genetically, biologically through us, through what's called epigenetics. And they did a study on epigenetics by using mice. And they put a certain mouse in an environment and they gave what's called cherry blossom scent to them. Smell like almonds, right? So once they gave them the scent, boom, they shocked them. Once they gave him the scent, boom, they shocked him. Gave him the scent, shocked him, right? So now when the scent comes, he's deathly afraid of the scent. He don't even want nothing to do with it, right? So that rat has children, okay? The children have never, ever experienced the cherry blossom scent.
Right.
They've never experienced being shocked. But they also deathly afraid of the smell.
It's passed down.
Because it passed down through his seed into them. Because DNA is just nothing but information information stored, information released. It's information gathered, information released. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So when when you're talking about 400 years of chattel slavery, that's trauma that we carry around.
And you know, I agree with that because like we talked about that on a couple of episodes when we talk about how like the mental health part of it, like you got women that's like they suffering from all kind of things, man. Depressions and you know, suicidal thoughts and you know, all kind of, you know, just mental health conditions, man. And that come from somewhere.
Right.
That come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And like that's where the epigenetics come in. Because you know when you think about like somebody, they grandparents who was a slave, whatever.
Right.
And it trickles down, bro.
Like,
man, why am I like this? Why do I have to take pills for depression? Why
there
do I
you
have
go.
to take
That's
pills for these psychological conditions that I'm suffering from. Like,
right.
it's because somewhere in your bloodline, like we talk about all the time. I seen somebody in your family that was a slave, seeing their husband get hung.
Come on,
right?
You think that
that's traumatic? Yes,
that fucked them up, bro.
That's a whole nother level of trauma.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To the
And
max.
that fear that was in their blood, right.
Right.
The adrenaline pumping from that fear, that shit just passed down.
Passed down. That's right.
Yeah,
From
that shit's
generation
crazy,
to generation.
bro. It's crazy.
Even the Bible said, "I will visit the sins of the fathers unto the sons to the third and fourth generation."
Mm-hmm.
He talking about epigenetics,
right?
That's exactly what he talking about, bro.
That's why it's so hard to break, those routines. Because you really trying to break it all within our little bit of time here, and you fighting all of that.
Yeah.
You're trying to take in information, change habits, fuck up, do it again. My bad. Let me try again.
Right.
Like, it's a process. You got to be real intentional about staying on that course to break that.
Breaking that program hard,
Yeah.
bro, because it's been for so long.
Right.
And to not let your kids get it.
Man.
Or exploit it. Because they being fed it at the same time, like you said, with radio, music videos, TV, the other kids at school. Even if you got your kid on the straight and narrow, the other kids, when they go to school, you can't protect them all the time.
That's right. That's right.
Unless you homeschooling and doing everything yourself, which most people are not.
Right.
And they be listening to the kids at school more than you. Like they didn't live through it.
That's
But
cool.
a lot of times, I think
Yeah.
that be part of like
It's rough.
I think some of
For
that
us.
be part of like just wanting to fit in. They don't
That
want to
too.
feel left out.
Yeah.
So even if they
You gotta
"Man,
teach
my dad
that."
right, or my mom right, but I'm out here hanging with these kids every day at school, and
Yeah,
they
that's
gonna tell me
fun.
I'm a punk if I don't do this, or if I don't do this, I'm not cool. So they gonna jump in that just so they can feel like they fitting in while they in school.
Right.
And that's what you got to teach. Like, it's okay to stand out and be a loner and be on your own if you're on the right path.
Yeah, be unique. Yeah.
Just because a whole bunch of people are doing one thing does not mean it's the right thing. It's a whole bunch of followers.
Yeah, that's true, man.
There
Look,
is one stand alone.
that's true. And it's a lot easier than
for sure.
Especially when
It
you're
is.
12, 13,
Yeah,
14
getting that
years
peer
old,
pressure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That peer pressure. And, you're in the mix. Like, I'm the only one out of 25 students that's, and also they got to plan for that too. Because let you stand out if you want to. You're going to be found in the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where, like, if you want to act different, if you want to be different, if you don't want to follow the status quo, it's zero tolerance for that.
Yeah.
It starts off with a referral.
That's true.
You get a referral, and then what's next?
Yeah.
You get in-school suspension.
ISS.
ISS.
The last one,
You basically, and then after ISS, you get what? You get out-of-school suspension or some type of off-campus, some type of off-campus school system placement, right, for like a certain amount of time, right? Then what? The juvenile system.
Yeah.
So now you 15, 16 years old,
Right.
you done dealt with police, you done caught charges, you done beat cases, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this stuff.
I think he having flashbacks.
Now
He making me happy.
Yeah, but I'm saying now you 16 years old and you in the mix.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen? And then don't let them put you on no medication.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's true.
They're gonna put you on dope.
You know they ain't nothing but legal dope.
It's legal dope.
Legal drug dealers, bro.
It's legal dope. You're talking about Adderall, that's methamphetamine.
Yeah.
It's methamphetamine.
So,
So you 16, 17 years old, then your environment is gonna hand you some real heroin, some real cocaine, some real methamphetamine. You take it one time, you're in prison.
That's it.
So they done started you off, or you catching cases, or you robbing, or you do, you know what I'm saying? You're already in the mindset of, man, I already know that if I bust this move, then I'm gonna be reprimanded. I'm gonna be. That's the school to prison pipeline.
That's what it is, bro. All that shit. That's why. Remember how we was talking about by design, it all is the same. The hospital, the schools, the prisons,
go.
like the walls away. It's
Keep you in them boxes.
Same.
Right.
Keep you in that box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I did have a question for you though, man.
Talk to me. For genetics, my grandfather, he murdered somebody and went on the run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, changed his name and everything.
Right.
My dad in the military murdered somebody.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But the night I got arrested, I was on my way to murder somebody.